welcome to Morning Coach Today. I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB. Super pumped you're here. Rock and roll this Monday, May 8th, 2023. Ready to take it on, episode 4959. And we're going to have some fun this week, as always. This week, we're getting into family first. Going to continue down this relationship path and talk about some things. In fact, that's what we're going to talk about today. Obviously, ILD Lifestyle Track is rocking too. Check your portal for that. We're going to be adding stuff all month that have to do with ILD Lifestyle. And then next month, all with Professional Expert. And that leads us right into our Coach Cast tomorrow, which is The Secret Tradecraft of Elite Advisors. This is actually a book ahead of the book. It's kind of weird. But we're doing the first book before the second book in June. We're going to do his other book. But this one I just really liked a lot, and it's like building this business. And so we're kind of ahead of the game as a Professional Expert game, and it can help you in your career and everything else. That's why I like the book. So it's just not about entrepreneurship. It's also about building your expertise, becoming that advisor that makes a difference in the world and can generate revenue from it. Loving the book. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about ILD principles, working and understanding working with the family, something very important. Thursday, we got an Ask JB. Been getting a lot of questions in. I got a good one for you, so don't miss Thursday. Friday, we've got family and money, long-term wealth, giving versus earning. What do we do with that? Saturday, Family Day, how to create that wonderful family energy. And then Sunday, we've got the saying, the family that prays together stays together. What does that mean? Is it something we want to get into? And we'll get into that. But ready to rock. Some really great ideas and thoughts today as we want to put family first. And I've got 6 tips for you. And as I mentioned, Evening Coach is rocking. Check it up there every once in a while. There's new things coming into Evening Coach. We've got the meetups coming up. Make sure you check the meetups and sign up for those in the community and meetup. You can come to the live coaching, which is awesome. Also, testimonials are rocking. Would love to get some testimonials from you. If you could do that for us, that'd be great. I'm sending out some emails on that, and you'll see that in the Sunday email. But anyways, let's get going. It is Monday. We're ready to roll. And there are 6 ways that I want to go over, or really 7 ways that I want to go over to make family first. And the first one is, one of the things we could do to really start getting our family working together and starting to have that connection with family is to work in routines. And you know me, I'm a big fan of rituals, routines, those type of things that can consistently happen. We're creatures of habit, so the more that we can do this, the better off we're going to be. So the first one is to work in routines. So what could that be? Well, I'll give you an idea. Number 1, movie night. So maybe once every Tuesday night, you guys do a movie night. And you make it a routine. And it's like, okay, we know we've got a movie night. That's one idea. Maybe it's a dinner night. We're going to do a dinner night. Every Thursday night is our dinner night. We're all going to sit down at the table. We're going to do dinner. Okay. But you can set up fun routines. Game night is another one. Every Thursday we do games. But it's this idea that you're going to take a specific night or a specific time, and you're going to add that to your routine, and you're going to do it as a family. So maybe you sit down as a family and say, okay, what day do we want to do movie night or dinner night or game night? These are really important things. And even in your personal relationship, date night is a really good thing to do. And I know it kind of gets cheesy, but this is fun. This is, if you add that to your routine and people know that Tuesday nights don't miss game night, then they're not going to miss it, right? So that's a very important part. It's one way to really start putting family first is to say, okay, we're going to do these routines. The second way is to be present. And I think this is one of the key things in life is that we become more present with our family. And you'll hear me talk about this, like when you're at work, be at work. When you're with your family, be with your family. But so many of us are watching the ball game, you're laying on the sofa, right? And somebody comes in to talk to you and you're like, yeah, I got you. And you didn't hear a word they said. You just weren't present. And I think this is one of the big keys in any relationship, that if you want to build great relationships, that you learn to become more present. You learn to really listen to what somebody's saying. It'll help you in your own communication because you'll know what they're trying to tell you. And it's a really important part of life in general. Most people never even hear this. This is not taught. This is something that most people never even have a conversation about. But when you realize that most people are never present, it's what the breakdown of the family unit's about. It breaks everything down because people aren't paying attention. And your kids specifically will know that you're not paying attention, right? And people are getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and they know when people aren't paying attention. And so you've got to learn to make this one of your rules, that you are going to be present. Now, I know you can't do this all the time. There's going to be times when you're going to be like cooking or doing something and you're not present, you're focused in. And I would tell them, hey, wait a minute, let me get this done and then we can talk so I can be present with you. And again, this is one of those communication things that I think would be really important to build within the family unit. Okay? So be present. Plan family vacations together. And I know these are kind of ones like, JB, I know this, but I have to remind you. I mean, that's what we've got to do. We got to continue to put this out there because you never know. You never know. Maybe you've dialed this in. Like you've got this dialed in. You're like, I've got it. Well, not everybody does, And so we want to create that repetition. We want to continue to give you that learning that comes from hearing it over and over again. And maybe you didn't hear it since last year, right? When we did this, we talked about family first last year in the beginning of May. But the idea is to, take a family vacation and plan it and really make it into something exciting and something fun. And if you can get the whole family involved, that's better. Like all this stuff is getting everybody involved. Remember with compliance, when you want somebody to do what you want them to do, what you got to do is get them to think it's their own idea. And we're not talking about manipulation. All we're doing here is we're talking about getting them involved in things that we can do. And especially as children start to grow up. Okay. Now, this could be you too. Maybe you're an empty nester. We have a lot of empty nesters, but maybe you need to plan a vacation. Maybe you need to plan something different that you normally wouldn't do. These are great ways to get the family first. Okay. And then, of course, right along with that is planning family activities. And I talked about this idea of like a dinner night or, a game night, but then you could do some really cool stuff around that stuff. Like you could do a family picnic. Hey, Saturday, we're going to go a family picnic. We're going to go to the races or something, or a business night. Hey, let's get together and talk business. Let's have a night where we're going to talk about your business and talk about business ideas. Or how about a themed dinner? We're going to do a medieval night. My Dungeons & Dragons coming out there. We're all dress up. We're going to do a medieval night. I mean, these are, again, can be really cheesy, and a lot of people laugh at that, but it's something that really brings a family together, especially if it's your children's ideas, And you can do that as adults too. I mean, here in my hometown, while I'm here, not that I've been, right? But they do a lot of 80s parties at the bars, and they do a lot of themes at the bars. There's one group particular that's always doing something, and I think it's great. It's just not my thing. I'm trying to stay away from drinking. Even though I still drink once in a while, I'm trying to stay away from it. And so theme nights are not a place for me to be, but like at a bar. But it is kind of cool when people are doing that. You do that as a family, it's kind of similar. So people are doing that here as groups, but you could do it as a family. And again, just some ideas as a family picnic, a business night, a themed dinner. Those are really great things. How about another thing you can do is just be supportive. And again, this is a be here now, right? Being there, being supportive, being able to listen is really critical. And listening is such a critical component. I think about all the negativity in the world today, and a lot of this has to do with, in the United States specifically, we talk about these kids that are having these problems and, school shootings where I grew up in Parkland. I was there in Parkland when that happened. A lot of that occurs because there is no support. The kid that went kind of goofy in Parkland and killed 17 people. And to me, Valentine's Day will never be the same. He had an older mother who, really couldn't handle him and then passed away. And I believe he was adopted, but don't repeat that. But it doesn't matter whether you're adopted or not. That's irregardless. It's just she was older and didn't have the energy, right? And the thing is, to be supportive, you got to be able to listen. And I see a lot of these shooters and these kids that are doing crazy things, and I think, where are the parents at? Shouldn't a parent know? I mean, wouldn't a parent be there to be listening and to understanding? And I know a lot of kids reject their parents, but a lot of that is because they don't have, their family isn't first, right? And they've been pushed away. And I know, especially in the United States, we have a lot of families that they're broken homes now. It's some single moms raising them. A lot of fathers have disappeared. It's a pandemic. It really is in certain areas. And so we got to remember that. And so in order for you to really, be there for your family, is you want to be supportive. And again, this is for your significant other. This is for anybody that you want to have a relationship with. You want to be able to listen and understand what's going on in their life. And you want to be the one that they can come to when things aren't going the way that they think they should be. You want to be the one that they can at least have a discussion with. It's so important to be able to talk and discuss things. And we got to realize, and I think this is my next point, which is really important, it goes right along with being supportive, is that there is no perfect family. We all make mistakes. Every single individual makes mistakes. I have a family member right now that, here in town, that people just don't know what to do. He's down this addiction path, and I've never seen it before. I've never seen it like this. It's like in the movies, how he's just going down this path, and it's scary to me. I feel terrible, but there's absolutely nothing I can do. It's a distant relative. But I feel so bad for the mom. And I feel so bad for the family because people are trying to do things, and he's an adult, and it's like almost he has to hit rock bottom. But the idea is to be supportive and understand that people aren't perfect and that there's going to be issues along the way. And I think you have to let people be imperfect. You have to let people make mistakes. When we try to force them into perfection, that's when problems happen. I look at this one individual, and that's kind of what happened. He was, babied, and his mom just took care of him so much that he's never felt pain. And I really feel the reason he's having problems with the drugs is that he doesn't understand how to handle the pain of the down. When you come off of alcohol, you come after drugs, if you had a long weekend or whatever and you come out, there's that hangover of anything, right? And he just can't handle that, so he gets right back on him. And that's addiction. That's what happens a lot with addiction. So if he could have handled some pain earlier, if his mom would have let him feel some pain, understood that not everything's perfect, that there are going to be issues along the way, maybe he would be able to get through this right now. But it's scary, right? And so we recognize that family isn't perfect and they're going to make mistakes. And that means then what we got to do is just be supportive and be there and be able to be there to have people listen to you. It's so important, And again, that comes from a posturing standpoint. You're going to hear about positioning tomorrow when we talk about the book when it comes to business. But same thing in life. You got to be able to position yourself in the right way. I think a lot of families right now, there's a lot of parents that are trying to be best friends to their children. And a lot of times you can't be best friends to your children. I know how cool that is, and it seems like such a good thing, but you still have to be the leader. You have to be the parent, and I think we lack that, especially in the United States. There's a lot of people that are really just focused on being the friend instead of being the parent, and that's a problem, right? And so we've got to realize that, somebody's got to be the leader. So it's a pack. That's what a family is, and somebody needs to be a leader. And when the father's gone, and I'm not taking gender roles here, I'm just saying typically that's what it is, but when there is no father, then the mother has to be everything to everybody, right? And I don't care if it's the mom, the dad, or whoever. It's all about leadership, and somebody has to lead. Somebody has to lead. And sometimes, we try to force the children into leadership, and they're not ready. Their frontal lobe's not even developed yet. So recognize the fact that family can be first, and we can do it by making some fun things happen. I went from this real fun thing where we're playing game night and movie night to wow, active shooters. I mean, that's how crazy the dynamic is of family, right? But if we understand all these things, then all of a sudden we can elevate and help our children along the way. I have caring as a big part of Morning Coach, and I've been very blessed to have a caring family. But I look back at my journey, and I look back to when I was going to college and the issues I had going to college. My parents didn't go to college, so they didn't understand the grades and the dynamic of all that, and really nobody understood. And I screwed up, man. I was a screw up. And part of the problem was I didn't have anybody to lean on, and my counselors didn't care. Nobody cared. And that's why I really want Morning Coach to be a place of caring, because I want to be there. Like if you're dealing with issues with your children, or you're dealing with issues with your spouse or significant other, I want that I want you to know I'm here. Whether you just need to listen to this, right, and I'm here, or whether you do need to reach out, we're here. It's important to me because even though I've had the most caring and amazing people in my life, and I have, they've made mistakes along the way too, and I could have used some other people. And luckily, I've had other people step into my life. But I still make mistakes along the way. We all do, and that support is so critical for us to be able to be there for our family, and we have to get supported too once in a while. I know there's a lot of us that are on an island, and it makes it even hard because we don't feel we're supported either, right? And so you need to know you're not on an island, that we're there for you, and that we will continue to make this better and continue to work together. So think about some things you can do with Family First today. So think about, can you put some routines together? Can you do every Tuesday night, a date night, a movie night, a dinner night? Can you work on being present? This one I know you can. We all need to do a better job of this in everything that we do. Work on being more present. Plan more family activities. Plan a vacation. And really be supportive. Be there to just listen. And that's why I said be there now, because they know. Everybody knows. When you're not listening, people know. And it's a very frustrating thing. And we want to make sure we're connecting. We want to make sure we've got things working in the right direction and make sure things are really where they need to be. We're going to make mistakes, and we pick ourselves up. Our family's going to make mistakes. We pick ourselves up, and we continue to press forward. That's what we do. And that's what we do at Morning Coach. So let's get out there and have a fantastic Monday. Massive love to you. Check your portal for the new ILD content that continues to flow out. There's going to be some great stuff coming, some emails coming, new email provider. If you're not getting emails, please let us know at info@morningcoach.com, because we are using a new email provider and making sure you're getting what you need right here at morningcoach.com. All right, so I love you. Get out there, have a great day, and I'll be back with more right here tomorrow as we get the energy going and we keep our family friendly.